Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello! And it is Monday. Happy Monday. It is the last Monday of October. We are on our way to Halloween and spooky. I love Halloween. It's like one of my favorite holidays. But until then, we are reading from the Patch Tarot deck. And it is a tarot deck that I have really enjoyed this month. I'm a little bit disappointed to be leaving this deck behind, but I'm excited to show you the next deck that I have in my collection, and we will start that in November. But until then, let's see what we've got for today's Monday card. Whoa, okay. Well, I think that's a good way to start the week and end the month. We've got what is on this deck, the Aeon, however you want to pronounce it. It is card number 21 in the Major Arcana, which we know typically, in a typical deck, is the World. But in this case, they call it the Aeon, or the Aeon. The two words at the top are advancement, and inverted is regression. At the bottom, we have Shin. I am totally mispronouncing that, I'm sure. And fire, the symbol for fire. So obviously this is sort of a phoenix card as well, which is interesting because the phoenix that we saw in one of the other cards, we have again here, I think it was in the Ten of Wands. I want to say it was the Ten of Wands had the phoenix. And we've got this dancer who's sort of like becoming the world in here. We've got kind of ghosts floating around. We have the six-pointed star surrounding what kind of looks like the earth, but I'm not sure. There's like an orb that seems to be on fire, but also freezing on top, and there's the crazy stuff going up on here of the grid kind of thing going on. There's a lot going on in this card. This is, I thought, when I first pulled this, until I saw the 21 at the top, I really thought that this was one of those specialty cards that this has the Holy Arcana, it calls it. And I don't know, maybe this is a transition card in the Patch Tarot mythos of things between the Major Arcana and that Holy Arcana. Because the World really is sort of that crossing over card. It completes the journey, but also allows you to kind of begin a new journey. And I could see this as, hey, we've finished the journey of the Major Arcana. Let's move on and go into these Holy Arcana, the ones that are kind of the world beyond, so to speak, lifting us from the material realm altogether and into a whole new realm and experience. I really dig this card as the World. I think sometimes the World card is a little too simplistic to show what it really means. I do like the idea of it kind of embodying all of the elements, even though in this one fire is the most prominent, and I have no idea what Shin means. I really have to research that. If you know what it means, please feel free to leave a comment below because I would love to know. The World, I do like advancement and regression as the words chosen to kind of jog your brain, if you will, for drawing this card. I do think that obviously the World card is about that ascension to something new and completing your story and moving on and discovering kind of who you are and not just your authentic self, but activating that authenticity and putting it back out into the world, putting it back out into the society or community or whatever it is you reach out to. Maybe it's when you finally figure out what you're good at and you find a job that fits that. It's finding your place in your family or finding your place in your community, just in your group of friends, and just knowing, yeah, this is who I am to these people. I'm good at it, and I like that I'm good at it, and I'm going to keep getting better. And that's really what this card represents is, yeah, everything is good. You're on the right path. You have succeeded in so much. You've found where you're supposed to be. And now it's time to really keep honing those skills and keep growing in that space. once you know who you are. It's almost like when you find the perfect job and you're like, now I can spend 20 years in a career. That kind of feeling. When you find the perfect relationship with someone and you're like, yes, this is the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Good things, bad things, whatever happens, this is still how it's going to be. When we see the world card, we like to think of it as, oh, everything's going to be happily ever after. And then when something goes wrong, we're like, hey, I feel cheated. That's not fair. But the reality is, when you get to the happily ever after, everything else is sort of the damn dailies. You're going to have bad days, you're going to have good days. But globally, worldly, everything is pretty good. You can go back to it and say, yeah, that was pretty good. There's more good than bad. There's more good days than bad days. Even the bad days teach me something. That's the kind of space that the Aeon is. At least that's the kind of space that the world is, and I can only assume that that's the kind of space that the Aeon is, or Eon, however you want to pronounce it. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it right. Also, my nose is really stuffy, so I'm sure I'm really not pronouncing things right. But yes, I just noticed there's like a lot of little spirit guys popping out of this thing. And our little patch guy has a lot of arms. A lot of arms. There's way too much going on this card for me to really explain it all, I think, in like a 5 to 10 minute little episode. But I will say that I appreciate that they kind of took all those little components that were in the other cards and in the earlier suits and different things in the deck and little symbolism and stuff like that and boiled it all into this. And even though it doesn't show every element and it doesn't show every one of the big movements in the story, I do think that the essence of the cards is captured in this one. So even though it is not one of the, I think there's 3 or 4 holy arcana cards, this is a great one to transition from the major arcana, which we know traditionally in the tarot deck, to that holy arcana. Because again, in that holy arcana there always seems to be like a world here and a world down here that they're crossing between. And this one has that. And I kind of like it better than just the wreath that happens usually in the world card, and it kind of just surrounds the naked flying goddess woman type character. The one thing I do miss about this is the 4 corner archetypes that are usually in there and symbolized. We have the bird represented, but it's not really the same kind of bird. That's usually it's an eagle that's represented on there, and this is a phoenix. But I get it, because the phoenix is that rising from the ashes and being reborn and moving into a new phase. And that's what this card is a moving into a new phase. So I think I've blathered on about this card enough. I really think it's beautiful. I'm sure every time I look at it, every time I turn it around to face me, I see something new and interesting. I hope that the picture that I post with this video will be enough for you guys to pick out some really cool things in this. So, happy Monday, and as always, if you like the Patch Tarot deck, check out the links in the description below, and you can order your own as well. And until next time, always stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and if you have anything that you want to say about this card or any of the other cards, please leave a comment below, and I love to read those. That's always fun for me. So, have a wonderful Monday. I will see you tomorrow. Bye!